Hello and welcome to a very first of one of my videos. This would be our very first progress report of Death Under the Moon. There will be more progress reports coming of both this game and other games that I'm working on, specifically Trail of Heroes Basic, Trail of Heroes Advanced. I might do a couple of videos on Trail of Heroes Standard just to talk about where we are in the last edit and how our schedule's going to turning out to be to get the final release out soon, and hopefully eventually later on down the line I'll be doing some relatively soon I'll be doing some progress reports of the what was it called? um I remember. It was the math game. It was my first science fiction tabletop RPG that's going to become a computer game. And it's really cool. It's aimed to it will eventually be aimed to teach math, which is awesome. And I'm hoping, yeah, I can't say what I'm hoping to do with it, but the idea is to have a teaching game that does not lag behind in the other aspects of gaming. But without further ado, we will talk about this video with this game, Death Under the Moon. You are currently looking at the Roll20 page that I'm using to do the testing with other people in the company and a few people outside the company. But this gives you an idea of the type of work we're doing and the scale of the work we're doing. Not only are every one of these tokens a unit, except for these up here and these up here. These are single figures. These are leaders. I'll go into them in a minute. But these are all units. There's a couple of them that repeat. Like you'll have different pictures to choose from for the same unit. I plan to do more of those down the line, just not in the initial publication of the game. I want to see how people are interested in it before I start putting even more time in it. I've been working on this nonstop for the past 4 or 5 months. So this has definitely been taking up some time, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's got great potential. So, like I said, these are all units. You can get an idea for how many units. These are all units that I have here. And then we go to this, and these are all macros that make the combat easy. So let's say all these units that I have up here are combat ready. So let's just say you want to attack with this human spear and broadsword, and you're going to use their first attack, which would be a spear. There are two macros here. One for the broadsword, one-handed slashing sword. I'm making the macros as simple as possible, putting the weapons into categories and the armor into categories instead of specific weapons and armor. Not only because I can't really identify most of the weapons and armor, I kind of can, but because it needed to be simpler. It was way too complex, and this is coming from me. So we've got one-handed slashing sword and short spear. First of all, we need to decide how many of these figures are going to be in combat. Well, there will be a unit of like 6 or 10 or whatever, and not all the unit is going to get into combat. Only the portion of the unit that is right up against the other unit that they're attacking is going to be in combat. So their spears fight 2 ranks deep. So you'll have, like, let's say 10 on the 10 wide and 2 deep. You'll get to attack, and let's say there's 5 of the 10 wide that are up against the enemy. So you'll get the 5 on the wide, and then 2 from... No, 5... You get 5 from the wide, and then another 5 from how deep they are, because they fight 2 deep. So you get a total of 10 combatant figures, is what it's called. And that would be the blue bubble. So you've got the green bubble. Let's put it as 20, because that's how many figures there are. Oh, give me a second. Oops, that was the wrong thing. That was the character sheet, not the token. So let's say you got 20 units. That's going to be important too. You can't just have the combatant units. You have to actually have the unit. So you got 20 figures in the unit. Gonna fight with 10. Actually, I don't think it matters for this, but it will for the opponent. And then let's say you're fighting these guys, and they... I opened the wrong thing again. They have 6 in their unit. All right. Ooh, you wouldn't be fighting five ranks wide if they had 6. But let's just assume that you are. So, one-handed, or no, short spear is what you click on first. Click on that. And let's hope that the macro is right. And this is all the math of the macro. Right here. I'll be condensing that when I make it public. But right now it's explained, it's laid out in plain terms so that I can understand if something goes wrong, how it went wrong. And spit out right here in the big numbers, 1.2 figures killed with spears. So this people over here, this is where you're going to have to do a little bit of math. You'll have to take away 1.2 from 6. So... because if you type in minus 1.2, it's gonna it's not gonna work. Let's do that just to show off what happens. Ta-da! It goes into negative 1.2. So let's say it was 6 before. That's right. So 1.6 minus 1.2 is 4.8. So instead of writing in minus 1.2, we just type in 4.8 and then hit enter, and there you go. Now, there will be morale rules. I don't have them linked to the tokens yet, but they will be. And some other things that are coming up. Actually, I'll just show you my list. First, I got to fix this. Put it back to 1. Save. Put this back to 1. Delete that. Save. So, here's what I'm doing next in the design notes. And everyone that has access to this Roll20 will have access to all of these. You will not be able to edit any of them, I believe, but you will have access to them. Oops, wrong one. Design notes. So currently, I'm adding default tokens and images to each unit. So what I mean by that is, let's look at this guy. In his character sheet, look, he's got an image, same image of him, and he's got a default token. That means when I pull out his image from the character sheet in here, if I can find him, Eek. I believe this is him. And then, yup, this would be him. So I can pull it straight out, and that's the token. Also, it allows the image on the character sheet allows me to see the image here. So I know what token I know what figure I'm buying right away. So the design notes, fixing that right now. That's today's work. Next, I'm going to add value for figure cost in each token. So I was too lazy to look up what it's officially called, but that would be attributes. I'm going to add an attribute for figure cost in each token, and then create a unit cost macro. You'll still need the spreadsheet, or you'll do more math. The spreadsheet will be your friend still, but that at least gives you an idea of how much the unit that you're hoping to use will cost. What it'll be is I'll have in the spreadsheet, I had, but I messed up the spreadsheet by simplifying it. So I will have the cost for each token in each unit. Well, that's going to be the figure cost, because I've got it all already calculated in the spreadsheet. So I'll just type in, let's say, let's say these guys right here are 4 points. They're going to be way more than that, but let's say they are. Let's say they're 4 points. A token. So what it's going to do, I'm going to have that right here in the figure cost. The figure cost is going to be 4 for them. No. The figure cost is going to be, 4 for them. And then there's going to be, oh shoot. I was figuring it out. I have it figured out somewhere. I have to remember where I wrote it down. But basically, it's going to calculate from the amount of tokens you want and the figure cost, and just tell you the unit cost. It should be pretty quick, but I do have over 100 units to use to do that to, so it could take a while. And then after that, I'm going to fix the spreadsheet. I may have to fix the spreadsheet before that, because if I fix the spreadsheet after that, I won't know my figure costs until I fix my spreadsheet. So I'll fix my spreadsheet next. But if you ever want to know what's going on, and I haven't posted a video recently, just go. You can just go to the Roll20 link. I have it in the folder for this that I have shared on Patreon with my $10 or more patrons. And you can click on the link and go to the Roll20, and you can check out the design notes. And that'll be it. Now, that is the update with this. I'm trying to... I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up. Just because I'll have to do a more in-depth update of something else, and I don't want it to take that much time. So, thanks for your attention. I hope this helped people understand where in the world I'm doing things. Oh! We have a tutorial. The tutorial is going to be a whole campaign. This is the first battle of it. I was in the middle of doing this with a friend of mine. It will be a recorded recorded battle on Patreon. All patrons will get a 3-day preview, or a 3-day early release, and then it'll be open to the public. But this is how it's going for him. He's the this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and there's another one in here. Oh yeah, these. So he's doing quite well. The only enemies that I was controlling were the goblins here and these orcs here. And it was supposed to be one-sided. What I've decided to do with the tutorial is to make it two-sided and then, make it an equal fight, and then you get to choose which foes you want, or which side you want. And there will be bonuses to how many points you get to spend between battles. There will be a storyline. If you've ever played, I better not mention it, but it's based on a lot of war games, computer war games, where they have like a campaign of different battles in a war, and you get points to spend in between. You get to boost your armies. You will be able to quote unquote level up some of these units, where you can increase the training and drilling, discipline, and a couple of other things. So it's really exciting, and it's coming up really soon. And I hope y'all enjoyed this chat of mine.